Free improvisation for me is like is life. At last, it's life. You act in the stuff of everyday life. The reacting to the situations that you find. So in music, I think it's maybe uh, the same approach. You you act with sounds, you communicate with sounds as if you are living, you are doing things of the everyday life. You know, and this is I think the main question is thinking about your place in in this year, what I'm doing here and why. Why am I like this and not like other thing? And I'm finding every day the answers to these kind of questions. Of course, I never I never find any answer, any good answer. But well, music for me is this dialectic approach between my question to myself and my trying to respond to myself. It's a bit crazy. I starting with music uh, as a very young kid. Uh, at home, my mom sing lots of songs and teach lots of songs to me and my brother and sister. Well, I grow up with music all around at home, and I, I think I managed my first band before I entered to school, and I start to learn music in a school at Philharmonic of my village at the age of 8. So I really don't remember my life before playing music. The first thing I remember to do with any instruments, um, at the same time of learning reading on the score and reading the the fingerings of clarinet. By the way, was my first learning instrument. Is to make things by myself. The way I see, there's a nice tradition of improvisation in Portugal since some long time. I know that singer who starts in the 60s or 70s, and myself I entered to Collective Orgástico at the 80s, and the process was growing. Well, it was growing since that time, and in the 90s, in the first years of the millennium, the number of musicians interested in trying improvisation. Today, you can say that in Portugal there's lots of musicians open to make improvisation, not only but two, and of course, well, I play with lots of guys, and some guys I prefer, some guys less, but it's like everything. You have a language in common. go on with him. You can prefer stay in your comfort zone and play with a guy that play the same language, or you can sometimes prefer the opposite and experiment with other approaches. I I thought in the 60s, 70s, 80s, the scene was exclusively in Lisboa, I think. But now there's a big scene in Lisboa, but as well here, because of me, of course. Uh, we we made we make concerts regularly. But I am a little afraid of some kind of stagnation of the process. If you, because some some musicians that I see are not so open-minded as I think they could be, so are not so open to another kind of aesthetic. So it could be a problem for artistical process. It could be a kind of dangerous if you close the doors to another experiment. Some musicians more directed to old school approaches are not every time open to noise approaches, to near silence approaches. Uh, Not everybody, of course. I am afraid that we can make compartments, and compartments are not good. Mia is not a place of compartments, and we insist to rotate everybody, challenge everybody to play with other kind of players, keeping people out of their comfort zone, and that's our mainly intention.